Hello and welcome to another episode of RayJ Reviews. Today I'm going to tell you about my visit down to Crocodile Encounter in Angleton, Texas. Crocodile Encounter is located south of Houston, and it's a wildlife park basically, which was created and is still focused on wildlife education. Even though the name of the place is Crocodile Encounter, they have a whole lot more there than just crocodile. They have several species of crocodile. They have alligators, lemurs, kangaroos, pot-bellied pigs, bongos, elands. A lot of animals, and they have a whole bunch of sulcata tortoises, a whole herd or a flock or a gaggle, however, whatever that term is for bunches of them, quite a few actually. And you get to interact with the animals. You can get right up next to them. You can feed the sulcata tortoises by hand. You can give them lettuce or celery. Then you can feed the alligators also, but you don't feed them by hand. You have these little pellets that you toss out so they can eat. You can also feed the bongos by hand, and that's kind of cool. The unique thing about it is you do get to get up really close and see the animals up close and personal. And the staff that takes you around and through the park, they're all quite knowledgeable. So you learn a lot about the animals while you're there too. It's not just like walking through a zoo. I mentioned that the park is focused on wildlife education. Well, Chris Dieter is a science teacher, and he started the park. It started off small, and then it grew quite large to what it is today. I had a chance to interview him and learn more about him and how this thing came about, and, well, I'll let you hear from him right now.
My name's Chris Dieter. This is Crocodile Encounter, and we do wildlife education here as our core. And it all started as a traveling wildlife education concept, and then it kind of grew to where now we took the same thing we did in our traveling shows and we made it to like a larger science type experience when you come here. So the whole thing's based around like a giant science lesson. Well, I grew up in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, and it's right outside of Pittsburgh. And just like a lot of kids, I was just doing dinosaurs, Godzilla, and it kind of led to where I wanted to keep larger reptiles. So when I went to college at Alderson Broaddus in West Virginia, and when I wanted to go after college, I wanted to go to a place where there was some native alligators. And so it was either here or Florida, and so I sent a couple applications into Texas and kind of found a home here. And then from there I started keeping the smaller animals in my classroom. And as time went on, we ended up doing a really big thing through the school district, but as the district grew, we moved away from that, and I ended up doing a private business, which we called Crocodile Encounter, which was at the time intended only to provide food for the animals that we had. On a teacher's salary, you're not going to make $1 million, and so we just wanted to provide food for the animals, and it just was a really neat show, and it resonated with a lot of people, and it just kind of started growing from there. And then as the animals got larger, we needed to have a place to retire them, and that led us to the facility where we're at now. And it's just, but the same general science concept going through the entire thing. So, yeah, the activities we provide here, they go from everything from, your standard family tours. You come out and take the feeding tour. We do Crocs After Dark. We have zookeeper camp. We do traveling assembly programs. We have field trips that come here from public schools, daycares, homeschool groups, church groups. I mean, you name it, everybody comes here from that. We do birthday parties on-site and off-site, Cub Scout groups on-site and off-site. I mean, you name it, and we'll pretty much get, an educational program to you. The things that we find most difficult about the process is right now we're keeping 15 species of crocodilians here. And when you keep 15 species of crocodilians, these are animals from all across the world. And so each has their own requirements. Now Texas and the soil that we have here makes it a lot easier than it would if we were somewhere else. But what happens is because of temperature in the wintertime, a lot of these animals we have to bring inside in the winter, just even if for brief periods of time, and that's a real challenge. And after doing this for a couple of decades, we've really learned what to do, what not to do, but there's always challenges when it comes to weather. Weather, because we're keeping this many tropical crocodiles outside. It's a big challenge, and but when you have like a warm-blooded animal that's from, say you have a rhino or something, you put him in his barn, you give him a little heat, but his body's going to make the heat for him. When you're keeping cold-blooded animals, you have to make sure that they never cross, certain thresholds that are bad for them, and that's a real challenge. Now, On the other side, the most rewarding aspect of it is because we do keep so many animals, we've been wildly successful with reproduction and the biology of these animals out here. And because of that, we keep 4 of the 5 SSP programs here. SSPs are species survival programs. We have the Siamese crocodile, we have the Chinese alligator, we have the Orinoco crocodile, and we have the Cuban crocodile here. And so we keep these animals in the relation to the programs as they are through AZA and organizations like that, in the hopes that these animals will either be a living ark and provide genetic background for the animals going forward.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch other episodes of RayJ Reviews and subscribe to my channel. That helps me a lot. But most important, I hope that you can get out and enjoy life.
So again, welcome to Crocodile Encounter. You're going to see a lot of crocodiles today. Oh yeah, definitely. Come on.
Come here, JJ.
Sultan.
I have a big roll. No.
Look at this big boy. Y'all are getting a tour already. Oh. Back up.